Unleashing Your Passion, the radical power of focused leadership. Welcome to the Black CEO Podcast. Today, we're diving into a conversation that will challenge your perspective on passion, purpose, and leadership. I recently had the incredible opportunity to interview Esther Mwandiko Kitenge, a visionary leader whose insights have the power to transform the way we approach our lives and careers. Esther's impact on making the world a better place is nothing short of extraordinary, and I'm thrilled to share with you the valuable lessons I learned from our discussion. Imagine for a moment a world where every person wakes up with an unquenchable fire in their belly, ready to tackle the day with unwavering purpose. A world where distractions fade away and crystal clear focus becomes the norm. Sounds like a fantasy, doesn't it? But what if I told you that this reality is not only possible, but essential for true leadership and lasting impact? Let's start with a provocative question. What if the key to unlocking your full potential lies not in chasing success, but in pursuing your passion with laser-like focus? This isn't just another feel-good mantra or a catchy phrase to slap on a motivational poster. It's a powerful truth that Esther Mwandiko Kitenge has embodied throughout her remarkable journey. As we delve into the insights gleaned from our conversation, prepare to have your assumptions about leadership, purpose, and making a difference in the world turned upside down. Esther's story is one of resilience, determination, and an unyielding commitment to her passion. Born and raised in the Democratic Republic of Congo, she faced obstacles that would have sent most of us running for the hills, but instead of succumbing to the challenges, she used them as fuel to propel herself forward like a phoenix rising from the ashes of adversity. One of the most striking aspects of Esther's journey is her ability to maintain laser-like focus on her goals, even in the face of overwhelming distractions. In a world that constantly bombards us with notifications, social media updates, and the pressure to multitask, Esther's approach is refreshingly countercultural. It's like she's discovered a secret superpower that allows her to cut through the noise and zero in on what truly matters. She shared with me a powerful anecdote from her early days as an entrepreneur that illustrates this point perfectly. Picture this: a young Esther sitting in a tiny office that's more like a glorified closet, surrounded by towering stacks of paperwork and a phone that won't stop ringing. The temptation to answer every call, to respond to every email immediately was overwhelming. It's a scene many of us can relate to, right? But here's where Esther's story takes a turn. Instead of drowning in the sea of distractions, she made a conscious decision that would shape her entire career. She told me, with a glint of determination in her eye, I realized that if I allowed myself to be pulled in every direction, I would never make meaningful progress towards my goals. So I set strict boundaries. I dedicated specific times for communication, and the rest of my day was laser focused on my core objectives. Now, this might sound simple, even obvious, but let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. How many of us can truly say we practice this level of discipline? We live in an age where being busy is often equated with being productive. We wear our ability to juggle multiple tasks like a badge of honor. But Esther's approach challenges this notion head on, and it's a challenge we desperately need to hear. Think about it. When was the last time you spent an entire day deeply focused on your most important task without checking your phone or getting sidetracked by less critical matters? It's harder than it sounds, isn't it? We've become so accustomed to the constant ping of notifications that the idea of disconnecting for even a few hours can feel almost anxiety inducing. But here's the kicker: Esther's strategy wasn't just about improving productivity. It was about aligning her actions with her passion and purpose. She understood that true leadership isn't about being available 24/7 or juggling a million tasks. It's about having the courage to prioritize what truly matters and the discipline to follow through. This leads us to another crucial insight from our conversation: the importance of identifying and living your passion. Esther believes that passion isn't just a nice to have in your career. It's absolutely essential for achieving lasting success and fulfillment. She shared a powerful metaphor with me that I like to pass on to you. Imagine your career as a long distance race. If you're running just for the sake of finishing or beating others, you'll eventually burn out. Your legs will grow heavy, your lungs will burn, and you'll find yourself questioning why you even started this race in the first place. But if you're running because you absolutely love the feeling of your feet hitting the pavement, the wind in your hair, and the exhilaration of pushing your limits, you'll find the strength to keep going mile after mile. The pain doesn't disappear, but it becomes secondary to the joy and purpose you feel with every step. That's what living your passion looks like. It's not about finding a job that you tolerate or that pays well. It's about discovering work that ignites your soul, that makes you excited to get out of bed each morning, even on the toughest days. Esther's own passion lies in empowering others, particularly women and young people in Africa. She shared with me the story of how she started her first nonprofit organization. And let me tell you, it wasn't a walk in the park. She faced skepticism from those who thought her goals were too ambitious. She grappled with a severe lack of funding that would have made most people throw in the towel. And the logistical challenges, they were enough to make your head spin. But here's where Esther's story gets really interesting. Instead of being deterred by these obstacles, she saw them as opportunities to get creative, to push herself beyond her perceived limits. She told me, with a mix of vulnerability and strength, there were days when I wanted to give up, days when the challenges seemed insurmountable. But then I'd remember the faces of the young girls we were helping, the dreams we were nurturing. That passion gave me the strength to persevere. This brings us to a critical question, one that I'm sure many of you are grappling with right now. How do you discover your passion if you're not sure what it is? It's a question that can keep us up at night, that can make us feel lost and unfulfilled, even when everything else in our lives seems to be going well. Esther's advice on this is both simple and profound. She suggests looking at what makes you lose track of time, what topics make you light up in conversation, what injustices in the world make your blood boil. Your passion often lies at the intersection of these elements. It's not about finding some magical, perfect fit. It's about identifying what moves you, what drives you, what makes you feel alive. But here's the kicker, and this is something Esther emphasized strongly. Discovering your passion is just the first step. The real challenge and the real reward comes from having the courage to pursue it relentlessly. This is where many of us falter. We might have a glimmer of what we're truly passionate about, but we let fear, societal expectations, or the lure of a safe path hold us back. We tell ourselves that our passion is impractical, that we can pursue it someday when the timing is right. But as Esther's journey teaches us, embracing your passion often requires taking risks and stepping out of your comfort zone. She shared a particularly poignant moment from her own life that illustrates this point beautifully. There was a time when she was offered a high-paying corporate job, one that would have provided financial security and prestige. It was the kind of opportunity that on paper seemed impossible to refuse. The salary was impressive, the benefits were top-notch, and the career trajectory was clear and promising. But deep down, Esther knew that accepting it would mean compromising on her true passion, her work in community development and women's empowerment. She found herself at a crossroads, faced with the decision that would shape the course of her life. With a mix of terror and excitement, she turned down the job. It was one of the scariest decisions I've ever made, she told me, her voice filled with emotion. But it was also one of the best. It forced me to fully commit to my passion, and that's when things really started to take off. This decision marked a turning point in Esther's career. By fully committing to her passion, she was able to channel all her energy and creativity into her nonprofit work. The results were transformative, not just for her, but for the countless lives she's been able to touch through her organizations. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's all well and good, but I have bills to pay. I can't just quit my job to follow my passion. And you're absolutely right. Esther's path isn't one that everyone can or should follow exactly. We all have different circumstances, different responsibilities, different constraints. But here's the thing. Living your passion doesn't necessarily mean making drastic changes overnight. It's not about throwing caution to the wind and hoping for the best. It's about gradually aligning your life and career with what truly matters to you. It's about making intentional choices that bring you closer to your passion bit by bit. Esther suggests starting small. Can you dedicate an hour each day to a project you're passionate about? Can you volunteer for a cause you care about on weekends? Can you take on responsibilities in your current job that are more aligned with your interests? These small steps can lead to big changes over time. But let's circle back to the idea of focus, because this is where Esther's insights on passion and leadership really come together. In our conversation, she emphasized repeatedly that living your passion requires unwavering focus. It's not enough to identify what you're passionate about. You need to prioritize it ruthlessly. This means learning to say no a lot. It means setting boundaries that might make you uncomfortable at first. It means disappointing people sometimes, but it also means making room for the work that truly matters to you. It means creating space in your life for growth, for impact, for fulfillment. Esther shared an interesting technique she uses to maintain her focus. Every morning, before she even checks her phone or opens her email, she writes down her top 3 priorities for the day, the tasks that will move her closer to her big picture goals. Everything else is secondary. This simple practice helps her stay aligned with her passion and avoid getting sidetracked by less important tasks. But here's where Esther's approach gets really interesting. She doesn't just apply this focus to her work, she applies it to her entire life. She's intentional about the people she spends time with, carefully curating her social circle to include those who inspire and challenge her. She's selective about the information she consumes, choosing books, podcasts, and news sources that align with her values and goals. She even practices mindfulness to train her focus on the present moment rather than getting lost in worries about the future or regrets about the past. Your focus determines your reality, she told me, with a conviction that was almost palpable. If you constantly focus on negativity and limitations, that's what you'll see everywhere. But if you train your focus on possibilities and solutions, you'll start to see opportunities all around you. This level of intentionality might seem extreme, even impossible in our hyper-connected, always-on world, but the results speak for themselves. Esther's laser-like focus has allowed her to achieve things that many would consider impossible. She's built successful organizations from the ground up, influenced policy changes at the national level, and inspired a new generation of leaders in her community. But perhaps the most powerful lesson from Esther's journey is this. True leadership isn't about having all the answers or being the loudest voice in the room. It's not about climbing the corporate ladder or accumulating titles and accolades. It's about having the courage to follow your passion, the discipline to maintain your focus, and the empathy to bring others along on the journey. Esther's leadership style is deeply rooted in her passion for empowering others. She doesn't just lead by dictating or directing. She leads by inspiring, by showing others what's possible when you fully commit to your purpose. She leads by example, demonstrating the power of focused passion in everything she does. She shared a beautiful analogy with me that I think captures this idea perfectly. She likened passionate leadership to being the captain of a ship. Your passion is your North Star, she said, her eyes lighting up as she spoke. It guides you through storms and calm seas alike. But as a leader, your job isn't just to follow that star yourself. It's to help your entire crew see it, believe in it, and work together to reach it. This type of leadership requires vulnerability. It means being open about your struggles and your failures. It means admitting when you don't have all the answers. But it also means sharing your vision with such clarity and conviction that others can't help but be inspired. Esther's journey teaches us that this kind of passionate, focused leadership has the power to create ripple effects far beyond our immediate sphere of influence. By living our passion and maintaining our focus, we not only transform our own lives, but also inspire and empower others to do the same. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge, a call to action inspired by Esther Mwandiko Kitenge's powerful insights. This isn't just food for thought. It's an invitation to transform your life and, by extension, the world around you. Take a moment right now to reflect on these questions. What is the passion that lights you up inside? What cause, what work, what mission makes you feel truly alive? Don't settle for a superficial answer. Dig deep. What would you do even if you weren't paid for it? What problem in the world keeps you up at night, itching to solve it? How can you bring more focus to that passion in your daily life? What distractions can you eliminate? What boundaries can you set? Be honest with yourself about where your time and energy are currently going. Are they aligned with your passion and your purpose? How can you use your passion and focus not just to achieve your own goals, but to lift others up and make a positive impact in your community? Remember, true leadership is about more than personal success. It's about creating a ripple effect of positive change. These aren't easy questions to answer. They require deep reflection, and often uncomfortable honesty with ourselves. They might force us to confront the ways in which we've been playing small, settling for less than what we're truly capable of. But they are the questions that can lead us to a life of purpose, impact, and fulfillment. Esther Mwandiko Kitenge's journey shows us what's possible when we have the courage to pursue our passion with unwavering focus. It's not an easy path. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But it's a path that leads to true leadership and lasting impact. So I leave you with this final thought. Your passion is not just a personal indulgence. It's not a luxury to be pursued only when everything else is taken care of. Your passion is a responsibility. It's the unique contribution that only you can make to the world. By focusing on that passion, by nurturing it and sharing it, you have the power to inspire, to lead, and to create positive change far beyond what you might imagine. The world doesn't need more people who are merely successful by conventional standards. The world needs leaders who are passionately committed to making a difference. It needs people who are willing to focus their energy and talents on solving the problems that matter most. Are you ready to be one of those leaders? Are you ready to discover your passion, maintain your focus, and lead with purpose? The world is waiting for the unique contribution that only you can make. The question is, are you ready to answer that call? The choice is yours. You can continue on the path of distraction and diffused energy, or you can commit right now to living with passion and focus. You can settle for a life of mediocrity, or you can strive for a life of impact and fulfillment. Remember, every great movement, every world-changing innovation, every act of transformative leadership began with a single person who dared to pursue their passion with unwavering focus. Why not you? Why not now? As you leave this talk today, I challenge you to take one concrete step towards living your passion with greater focus. It might be as simple as blocking out an hour in your calendar for focused work on a project you care about. It might be having a difficult conversation with someone about changing your responsibilities to align more closely with your passions. Whatever it is, do it today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. The world is waiting for your unique contribution. It's time to answer the call. It's time to lead with passion and focus. It's time to create the change you want to see in the world. Thank you.